Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the 2022 virtual graduation to celebrate our graduating class of 2022 and our student leader network. We are delighted to share this space with our graduates, their friends, their families, and their loved ones. I am Russ Feingold, the president of the American Constitution Society. For those of you who may be new to ACS, welcome. We are the country's foremost progressive legal organization with over 250 student and lawyer chapters nationwide. We are progressive lawyers, law students, judges, scholars, advocates, and many more, all working together to ensure our laws and legal systems protect and improve the lives of all people. Now, the class of 2022, I don't need to tell you, has not had it easy. They have had to grieve for so much loss while also going through the rigorous journey of obtaining a law degree. On top of that, the ACS leaders whom we are celebrating today have also invested a lot of their time and energy in their local ACS student chapters and are working to take on the urgent legal challenges facing our country and our democracy, from gun violence and the right to bodily autonomy to protecting the rule of law and diversifying our courts. That's why I'm so grateful to be with you today, to celebrate these courageous and resilient leaders. Our chapters are the heart and soul of ACS. The work that our chapters do inspires me every day and makes me hopeful that in this moment of truth for our country, democracy will prevail. That's why I joined ACS and why I believe so fervently in the impact of this generation. Just a few quick highlights from this past year. This spring, after President Biden's nomination of Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson to the U.S. Supreme Court, our ACS student leaders coordinated a law student letter in support of Judge Jackson's nomination, collecting over 1,000 signatures with over 100 law schools represented. After the draft Supreme Court opinion in Dobbs was leaked, ACS students worked collectively across the country to host programming, write op-eds, and craft statements to educate their communities about reproductive justice and the potential repercussions of Dobbs. And student chapters hosted over 500 timely and meaningful programs this academic year on a variety of topics, from court reform to reproductive justice, racism in the law, gun violence, environmental justice, voting rights, workers' rights, statehood and sovereignty, and much more. They also hosted career-related programs to encourage students to see themselves as future judges, future elected officials, future scholars, and much more. They reached across states and across the country to partner with other chapters, with experts, and with people who are on the front lines of these pressing issues. This advocacy and collaboration will be just as important in the year ahead as we prepare for the 2022 elections and await these decisions on abortion and gun cases that are right now before the Supreme Court. Look, we recognize that the law is not stagnant, and we are not powerless to change it, whether it's pushing for truth, racial healing, and transformation in this country, or advocating for a judiciary that reflects the people it serves. This progressive movement is a powerful voice for justice and change. ACS is here for you and with you as we fight to ensure that our laws and legal systems are forces for protecting our democracy and for improving the lives of all people. This organization is a community first and foremost. We are grateful that you found us during law school and hope that you'll remain a member of this progressive community as a lawyer. Our work's never been more important. Our laws and legal systems have not been designed or built to treat everyone equally, and we need you. We need your creativity, your spirit, and your courage and your tenacity to work towards creating a system that does treat everyone equally. By being a member of the progressive legal movement, you are on the front lines of this change. As lawyers and ACS members, you will have opportunities to change our laws and to build a judicial system that is equitable and diverse. Join us as lawyer chapter members and continue to help ACS shape a progressive future for this country. I look forward to working with you and to supporting your work. Thanks again for joining us today. I know you'll enjoy what we have in store for you this afternoon. So that's why I'm now going to turn the program over to one of those great 2022 graduates and an ACS student board member, Zoraima Pelaez from the University of Texas School of Law. Zoraima?
Hello, everyone. My name is Zoraima Pelaez. I am a class of 2022 graduate from the University of Texas School of Law, a student board member on the National ACS Board, and I've had the great pleasure of serving as president and chief of staff of the Texas Law ACS chapter throughout my time in law school. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you all in real time, but I'm thrilled to be a featured speaker at today's ACS Class of 2022 virtual graduation ceremony. At my law school's graduation ceremony just a few weeks ago, our speaker said that the secret to a great commencement speech is to be brilliant, be brief, and be gone. And unlike our speaker, I'll try to deliver on at least two of those things. As we all know, the class of 2022 is entering the legal profession at a particularly challenging time. These past 3 years have been tough. During our time in law school, we've been through a global pandemic that has killed over 1 million people in the United States alone. In the summer of 2020, we saw and participated in mass protests around the country demanding justice in the wake of the police killing of George Floyd. And in 2021, in January, we watched as extremists stormed the United States Capitol in an attempt to overturn a democratic election. Last month, a leaked draft opinion of the Dobbs case alerted us to the unsurprising but nonetheless devastating conclusion that the Supreme Court, the institution that underlies the very profession we're entering, plans to gut the fundamental right to abortion, a right that's at the core and the foundation of so many other liberty rights, and that has allowed countless people, myself included, to pursue and have dignity in the formations of our own lives and those of our families. And as if all of that weren't bad enough, we've continued to experience the devastating fallout brought by climate change and gun violence. These two urgent issues have uniquely impacted our generation, and our elected leaders have failed to address them time and time again. I know this is a lot. I know it's overwhelming to hear one after another devastating event, but I call our attention to these events because this is a reality in the world we're graduating into and the problems we'll be facing as lawyers. And let's be real, a lot of these problems have roots in the legal profession. This is probably not what many of you came to hear, but personally, I've come to seriously doubt whether any solution to these issues lies in the legal profession. I don't know, perhaps some of you share the same doubts as I do. But I want to suggest that even if you believe, as I do, that we, as progressive lawyers, what we're doing is harm reduction, that in and of itself is powerful. While it may not always be our role or a lawyer's role to lead the fight for gun control, abortion rights, racial justice, voting rights, or climate justice, what we can do, what we should do, what I implore us to do, is to use our training and our skills to dismantle the systems of oppression that have led to the status quo. Since the time of the founding, the law has been used to reinforce and support strict systems and structures of white supremacy. From the Black codes and Jim Crow laws to restrictive voter ID laws and bans on abortion, all of these things have been undergirded by the legal profession. As a graduating law student and us as graduating law school students, we've had the special privilege of learning the language that power responds to, the law. And now it's our responsibility to use that privilege and those skills in service of our collective liberation and to fight for the issues and values we hold dear as a community that's committed to social justice. Extraordinary times call for extraordinary leaders. Having met and worked with some of you, I do actually have hope for the future. Things are dark. I have lost faith in many things. But one thing I'll never lose faith in is a community of dedicated advocates working on the ground every day to ensure that our people are taken care of. And we're entering that community. If I learned anything during my time as an abortion rights organizer in Texas, it's that sometimes our only option is to imagine a better future and to fight like hell for it. And with that, I'll leave you with one of my favorite quotes from Assata Shakur. It's a quote that I keep close when things get hard and that I repeat to myself when I feel like giving up. It's our duty to fight for freedom. It is our duty to win. We must love each other and support each other. We have nothing to lose but our chance. Congratulations, class of 2022. I look forward to being in community with you soon.
Thank you so much, Zoraima, for those inspiring remarks. I cover our University of Texas chapter, and I've been in awe of Zoraima since I first met her in person in February 2020. I'm so excited to see that she and all of our graduates will do with their law degrees. Now, before we announce our graduates, I do want to introduce you to our incredible ACS chapters team. Chapters team, I see folks are turning on their cameras. So just for those who don't know, our chapters team works to support our ACS student and lawyer chapters. We're based in cities all around the country, and we work to facilitate the programming of our ACS chapters. We cultivate and we support our next generation of progressive leaders, connect ACS members across the country to strengthen our progressive network, and work with our leaders to shape the debate and promote diversity, equity, and inclusion throughout the network. I'll kick off our introductions. My name is Peggy Lee. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm the director of chapters. I'm based out of Houston, Texas.
My name is Michelle Hurd. I use she, her pronouns. I'm an associate director of chapters, and I'm based out of Los Angeles, California.
My name is Robert Williams. I use he, him pronouns. I'm an assistant director of chapters, and I'm based out of Austin, Texas.
Hi, my name is Faith Pensinger. I use she, her pronouns. I'm an assistant director of chapters, and I'm based out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Hi, my name is John Palaswa. I use he, him pronouns. I am the chapter's associate, and I am based out of Washington, D.C.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jordan. I use he, him pronouns. I'm also a chapter associate, and I'll be based out of Washington, D.C. as well.
Thank you so much, team. I'll also note that we are missing someone from our team, Jordan Bliss. He uses he, him pronouns, and he's based out of Denver, Colorado. So we're all here to celebrate our inspiring 2022 graduates. So this presentation is organized by university and includes the names of all of our 2022 graduates who have served on an ACS board during their time in law school. I encourage you, if you have the chat box open, show some love to your friends, family members in that chat box and to your fellow graduates. Michelle, go ahead and kick us off.
Congratulations to our graduates at the following universities: Albany Law School, Alexander Blewett III School of Law at University of Montana, Antonin Scalia Law School, George Mason University, Arizona State University, Sandra Day O'Connor College of Law, Barry University, Dwayne O. Andreas School of Law, Baylor University Law School, Boston College Law School, Boston University School of Law, Brigham Young University J. Reuben Clark Law School, California Western School of Law, Chapman University Dale E. Fowler School of Law, Chicago-Kent College of Law, Columbia Law School, Cornell Law School, Creighton University School of Law, DePaul University College of Law, Drake University Law School, Drexel University Thomas R. Klein School of Law, Duke University School of Law, Duquesne University School of Law, Emory University School of Law, Fordham University School of Law, Georgetown University Law Center, Georgia State University College of Law, Harvard Law School, Howard University School of Law, Indiana University Maurer School of Law, Indiana University Robert H. McKinney School of Law, Lewis and Clark Law School, Lincoln Memorial University Duncan School of Law, Loyola Law School, Los Angeles, Loyola University Chicago School of Law, Louisiana State University Paul M. Hebert Law Center, Marquette University Law School, Mercer University School of Law, Michigan State University College of Law, Mitchell Hamline School of Law, New England Law, New York Law School,
New York University School of Law, North Carolina Central University School of Law, Northeastern University School of Law, Northern Illinois University College of Law, Northern Kentucky University Chase College of Law, Northwestern University Pritzker School of Law, Notre Dame Law School, Oklahoma City University School of Law, Penn State Dickinson Law, Penn State Law, Pepperdine University School of Law, Rutgers Law School, Camden, Rutgers Law School, Newark, St. Louis University School of Law, Santa Clara University School of Law, Seattle University School of Law, Seton Hall Law School, SMU Dedman School of Law, Stanford Law School, Stetson University College of Law, Syracuse University College of Law, Temple University Beasley School of Law, the Catholic University of America Columbus School of Law, the George Washington University Law School, the Ohio State University Moritz College of Law, the University of Akron School of Law, the University of Illinois Chicago School of Law, UIC Law, the University of Oklahoma College of Law, the University of Texas School of Law, UC Berkeley School of Law, UC Hastings College of the Law, UC Irvine School of Law, UCLA School of Law, University at Buffalo School of Law, University of Alabama School of Law. University of Arizona, James E. Rogers College of Law. University of Arkansas School of Law. University of Baltimore School of Law. University of Chicago Law School. University of Colorado Law School. University of Connecticut School of Law.
University of Denver Strom College of Law. University of Detroit Mercy School of Law. University of Florida Levin College of Law. University of Georgia School of Law. University of Houston Law Center. University of Ohio, Idaho College of Law. University of Illinois College of Law. University of Iowa College of Law. University of Laverne College of Law. University of Memphis Cecil C. Humphrey School of Law. University of Miami School of Law. University of Michigan Law School. University of Missouri School of Law. University of Nebraska College of Law. University of New Hampshire Franklin Pierce School of Law. University of North Dakota School of Law. University of Oregon School of Law. University of Pennsylvania Carey Law School. University of Richmond School of Law. University of San Francisco School of Law. University of South Dakota School of Law. University of St. Thomas School of Law. University of Tennessee College of Law. University of Toledo College of Law. University of Virginia School of Law. University of Wisconsin Law School. University of Wyoming College of Law. UNLV William S. Boyd School of Law. UNT Dallas College of Law. USC Gold School of Law. Vanderbilt Law School. Wake Forest University School of Law. Washington and Lee University School of Law. University of Wisconsin Law School. Washington University School of Law. Western Michigan University Thomas M. Cooley Law School, Tampa Bay. Willamette University College of Law. William and Mary Law School. Yale Law School.
And with that, congratulations to ACS's class of 2022. Woo. Everyone's on mute, but there's lots of claps. All right. So next up, we're going to hear remarks from ACS's Executive Vice President, Zinelle October. Take it away, Zinelle.
Thank you, Peggy, and congratulations to all of the class of 2022, including Zoraima. Thank you so much for kicking us off with your remarks today. Really appreciate it. I'm really delighted to be here with all of you. As you can all tell, our ACS chapters are the heart and soul of ACS. They bring together progressive law students, lawyers, scholars, judges, policymakers, activists, and others in communities across the country. In the last year, our student chapters used the hybrid environment to strengthen the national network and build a national student response to all the challenges of our time. In just the last year, we've seen you help elevate the importance of the courts and Judge Jackson's historic confirmation to the US Supreme Court, amplify the importance of diversity on the judiciary, work on expanding the right to vote, and shape the debate on Supreme Court reform, racial justice, reproductive justice, LGBTQ rights, and so much more. You've also coordinated programming to help empower your student leaders and support members' careers, helping them expand their vision of what they can do with their law degrees and helping them make vital connections for jobs and mentorship. This class of law students focused on expanding our election day class cancellation efforts and work to expand voter access during a global pandemic, including hosting notary drives to help voters overcome the barriers to accessing mail-in voting. You all inspire me. We're so proud of the incredible work that our ACS chapter leaders are doing to make a positive difference, both nationally and in their local communities. And today, we want to specifically recognize the work of a few of our outstanding chapters. Our first student chapter award is for Rising Chapter of the Year. This award goes to a new or recently revived chapter that has done the most to advance progressive causes. Led by Molly Crane and faculty advisor Joshua Douglas, the University of Kentucky J. David Rosenberg College of Law chapter revived this fall and quickly began engaging on several ACS national initiatives, including ACS's Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation Student Task Force, and our class cancellation initiative. The chapter also encouraged members to engage in the ABA's Race Equity Habit Building Challenge, hosted programming on income inequality and race equity, and collaborated with other ACS chapters to examine the Supreme Court. Their programs successfully facilitated strong connections between not only their student members and faculty, but also within their local community and ACS chapters around the country. Congratulations to the University of Kentucky ACS Student Chapter. Next, we would like to recognize our chapters receiving programming awards. ACS programming awards are presented annually to our most active chapters. The ACS Student Chapter winners of this year's programming awards are Georgetown University Law Center, Harvard Law School, New York University School of Law, Northwestern University Pritzker School of Law, Stanford Law School, the University of Texas School of Law, University of Chicago Law School, University of Missouri School of Law, University of Pennsylvania Carey Law School, University of Virginia School of Law, and Yale Law School. Congratulations to all 2022 Programming Award recipients. For our next award, we are proud to partner with the Center for Reproductive Rights to present the Reproductive Rights and Justice Award. This award is given to the chapter that has had the greatest impact in the area of reproductive rights. Led by Benjamin Klein and Angela Peterson and faculty advisors Jennifer No and Jeffrey Stone, this year's winner is the University of Chicago Law School. The chapter collaborated with If, When, How to host a discussion on SB 8 and the future of abortion access, which was coordinated in part to respond to an all-male panel discussion at the law school on whether abortion is illegal under the 14th Amendment. The chapter also hosted programming on examining the current fight for ERA ratification. Throughout the year, the chapter elevated the voices of women within the legal profession, including hosting lunch discussions with elected officials, judges, and leading scholars. Congratulations to the University of Chicago Student Chapter. Our final award is for the Student Chapter of the Year. This award goes to the chapter that has shown the greatest strength in meeting ACS's mission and goals. This year's winner coordinated over 20 programs on progressive issues and ACS priorities, including highlighting the importance of diversity in the judiciary. The chapter also hosted the 82nd Attorney General of the United States, Eric Holder Jr., and Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul. The chapter regularly collaborated with and supported other student organizations, including affinity bar organizations. led by Chapter President Hirsch Joshi and Faculty Advisor Richard Rubin. This year's winner of the Student Chapter of the Year is the University of Missouri School of Law, ACS Student Chapter. Congratulations to our Mizzou chapter and all of this year's winners. We are so proud of all of you and excited to welcome you into the ACS Lawyer Network. Adam Miller, the co-president of our wonderful ACS Minneapolis-St. Paul Lawyer Chapter, will provide some remarks shortly, welcoming you into the Lawyer Chapter. Before he does, I'd like to say that I have been at ACS for over 11 years, and I have seen the growth of the ACS network and the positive difference our members have made in building a more diverse pipeline to the judiciary, promoting progressive legal values, expanding the right to vote, and much more. It has been a joy watching our student leaders graduate to become lawyer chapter leaders and leaders within the progressive community, both locally and around the country. Our keynote speaker today, Judge Loren AliKhan, is a perfect example of the incredible pipeline of ACS leaders. We are excited to continue working with you and supporting you throughout your career. I'd like now to introduce Adam Miller, the Deputy General Counsel and Director of Judicial Appointments for the Office of Governor Tim Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. He is the co-president of the ACS Minneapolis-St. Paul Lawyer Chapter. The chapter not only regularly hosts high impact programming with national and local leaders, but it also prioritizes strengthening the pipeline from student to lawyer leader. The chapter works closely with its local student chapters to help mentor and support students, including welcoming summering students and recent graduates to the Twin Cities. Adam, thank you and your colleagues on the Twin Cities ACS board for all the work that you've done to strengthen the progressive network in Minnesota. Take it away, Adam.
Well, thank you so much, Zinelle, and thank you everybody from ACS, President Russ Feingold. We are really looking forward to seeing you this week at the convention. And this is just a great way to kick this off. And so, as Zinelle mentioned, my name is Adam Miller, and I am the co-president of the Twin Cities Lawyer Chapter of the American Constitution Society. And first off, congratulations to all of you on your graduation from law school. As a fellow 2015 law graduate and a next generation leader, you were at a very exciting time in your career, and I just congratulate you all. But I'm sure this moment comes with a mix of emotions, of excitement, relief, a bit of anxiety, and possibly uncertainty about what your next chapter in your life is going to be. And so at least I know those were some of the emotions that I was feeling when I was graduating from law school. And so I'm sure you're excited about being done with the never-ending coursework and tests and law review articles and papers and frankly cold calling. Maybe feeling anxious about having to take one more final exam to see if you learned enough to be able to practice law, and uncertain about what you're potentially going to do after the bar exam. And so all of this is absolutely natural and part of the experience of transitioning out of law school into the profession. I'm certain that you all are going to do great things, and I know your all in paths are going to be different and unique. And of course, I wish you all the best with that. And I can already tell you that you've already taken an important first step in setting yourself up for success by frankly just being here today and engaging with an organization such as the American Constitution Society. And so I'm not going to tell you why you need to care about ACS and what the values they stand for, because you're all smart people. And I believe that, your views and values that align closely with what this organization is. But what you sometimes don't see is the opportunity and the influence that ACS has once you enter the profession. The debate you're having in your law schools, it was important, and it's an important part of the broader debate about our laws and our Constitution, and this will serve as a foundation for your professional formation. But the opportunity to truly influence the discussion and to move forward the debate into action really presents itself once you have left school and come into the lawyer chapter. And so ACS provides you with that opportunity and the ability to advocate for these causes that you care about and influence this debate and the decisions that impact us all. And so I don't want my remarks to be just solely about this is what I did or what my local chapter has accomplished, because everyone is different, every community is different, and that is frankly part of what makes this whole organization so great, is that you get to dictate what this means. But I think it might be helpful to hear just why it may be beneficial for you to stay involved and to keep at this after you leave school. So like most of you, I joined ACS in law school, and I ended up serving in my school's leadership. I was immediately attracted to the mission and the values of this organization. And I was just really tired of the debate being one-sided by a vocal and very active Federalist Society. So, but in addition to that, but what kept me connected and motivated and engaged was this dedicated group of lawyers that would work with us, that were part of our lawyer chapter, who would help and would reach out and would help bring these voices from our progressive legal community for people who are potentially, timid to be reaching out to because of their position of authority, but how willing they were with an extra helping hand. And so, but not only did they help us plan these, interesting, exciting events, but it opened up opportunities for us to tap in to this progressive legal community to help mobilize our community on these issues that matter. So after law school, I graduated, and then I went and joined our lawyer chapter, and I quickly realized what the value of the organization was and the opportunities that it presented to me. And so not only was this a network of like-minded people that will support you, mentor you, but they're also people that make decisions on the important issues of our time that really influence our local legal community. And not only that, our progressive legal community now relies on ACS to get their message out. And the benefit is greater than any political party, which I believe is the thing that is often understated. That this includes judges, lawyers, policymakers, professors, students, and the greater community, all of which are like-minded and play a significant role in this debate. And so when you're working with your lawyer chapter, you become one of the voices in your progressive legal community, and people look to you for guidance. And so our community, for example, never thought that we were going to be at the epicenter of the reckoning that came after the murder of George Floyd. But our chapter felt like we had a responsibility, and people needed a trusted voice that could keep them informed. And we proudly stepped up and tried to help deliver a message that people could rely on and help people process what was happening, not nationwide, but even frankly in our local community with all the mixed emotions and all of that. And this included, and it wasn't just a local group of lawyers, this was our attorney general, who happens to be our chair of our board of advisors, who's reaching out to us and saying, you need to be doing more to inform people. He was the person prosecuting this case, let's keep that in mind. But he was the one that was pushing us to do more because he realized what the opportunity was and what needed to be done. And so this difficult moment in our nation's history brought together a local community that ways that we never thought would happen. And now we serve as sort of that voice for them. But it's not just this topic, our Secretary of Safety, who happens to be luckily another board of advisor member of ours, he wants us to be talking more about voting rights, and he pulls together people for those sort of events. It's our Supreme Court justices reaching out to us and saying, you need to be talking more about why it's important to diversify our bench. I will do an event with you. I want to do an event to make sure that people that are diverse have clerkship opportunities like other people don't. And so you'd be surprised just what the power is of reaching out and how you can bring together your community. And so I challenge you to do that with your local lawyer chapters. And that is why it's so important. And that is why I'm going to advocate so strongly for you to stay involved afterwards and to join your lawyer chapter. It's really where the work starts to get done, and you can really have a positive influence on your community, and you can push your community forward. And one note is to sort of my wrap up too is don't forget about your law students. I know you're law students now, but once you are only working with lawyers, don't forget about the important role that they play, because they are the future of the organization, and they are important in the pipeline that is going to keep ACS robust and to keep moving the work forward. So with that, congratulations once again, keep up the fight, and I hope to meet some of you at the convention this week.
Thank you so much, Adam. It's been such a joy to work with you over the years, and we at ACS are so proud of the work you've done since you were a new graduate. I look forward to seeing you this week. Hi, everyone. I'm Megan Paulus. I'm the Vice President of Network Advancement at ACS. I'm so thrilled to be with you here all today to celebrate our amazing class of 2022 graduates. I'm also really excited to introduce your next ACS commencement speaker, the amazing Judge Loren AliKhan. Judge AliKhan is someone who joined ACS in law school and has stayed a part of the network ever since, like we hope you all do too. Judge AliKhan served as ACS president of the Georgetown chapter when she was in law school, and she graduated from Georgetown magna cum laude and has had a remarkable career path since. She clerked for a district court judge and then a circuit court judge, and then she served as Bristow Fellow in the Office of Solicitor General at the Department of Justice. She then went to practice appellate law at O'Melveny and Myers. Next, she went to the Office of the Attorney General for the District of Columbia, where she ultimately became the Solicitor General of DC, where among many other things, she was one of the very few women of color to ever argue before the Supreme Court. And just this February, Judge AliKhan was confirmed to the DC Court of Appeals. We've been applauding her work for such a long time, and we're thrilled to see her on the bench. I'll turn things now to Judge AliKhan.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you to ACS for having me, and thank you to Russ, Zoraima, Adam, and everybody else for their terrific remarks this afternoon. I was blown away by the number of law schools represented here today. When I was an ACS chapter president back in 2005, I will admit, back in the dark ages, I never could have imagined that the ACS network would stretch from coast to coast, and I'm so happy to see it. Congratulations to all of the 2020 graduates. You completed 3 long years of law school. That's 3 years of hard work, careful study, and stressful exams. 3 years of toiling away in the law library, taking time away from family and friends, and entirely too much Zoom for anyone's liking. But it's all paid off because now you're a lawyer. And after you finish the next hazing ritual, the bar exam, you'll be able to call yourself an attorney. But before you open the bar prep books, take a minute to be proud of what you've accomplished. Then take several more minutes to express gratitude to everyone who helped you get to this point. You wouldn't be here without the love and support of your community. College professors and mentors who wrote your law school recommendation letters, family members who cut you some slack when you couldn't take out the trash because you were studying for finals, classmates who shared their notes or encouraged you to try out for moot court. A small word of thanks goes a long way. Whether you're going on to a clerkship, a law firm, or a nonprofit, or even if you're not certain what the next step is, you're embarking upon a rich new chapter in your professional life. And I'm here to offer you, a captive Zoom audience, some entirely unsolicited advice. First and foremost, don't be a jerk. There are already too many big egos in the law, and our profession does not need any more. Don't get blinded by the prestige of your degree, the JD or Esquire on your soon-to-be printed business cards. Be kind to everyone you meet, whether it's the managing partner or the nighttime cleaning staff. Take care to learn people's names and to listen to their stories. And find ways to give back, whether it's mentoring the next generation of lawyers, taking on pro bono cases, or volunteering in another capacity. Next, don't be afraid to fail. This is a lesson that took me a very long time to learn. Most of us are attracted to law school because we're super type A and we strive for perfection. But that can lead us to beating ourselves up if we fall short of our goals, or worse yet, can make us afraid to try for fear of failing. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's a requirement for success. If you never fail, if you've never been rejected from a job, if you never received constructive criticism on your work product, if you never feel disappointment, then I suppose it could mean that you're perfect, in which case, congratulations. But more likely it means that you're not challenging yourself. Stretching our limits is what allows us to grow. So learn to embrace failure as a sign of progress. Relatedly, be open to unexpected opportunities. Some of the best jobs I've ever had were ones I didn't know existed when I was in law school. If you look at the career paths of those you admire, I suspect you'll find a windy road of different experiences, all of which led them to where they are today. If you had told me when I graduated law school in 2006 that I would one day be a judge, I wouldn't have believed you. And yet here I am, and I'm so grateful for the incredible opportunities that I had to practice law along the way. Finally, take care to have a life outside of the law. Modern day legal practice is a jealous mistress. And whether you're at a firm, in-house, in the government, or in the nonprofit sector, there will be continuous demands from clients and causes alike. Do your work, do it well, but don't forget to take the time for yourself, for your family, and for your community. Don't come home so tired at the end of the day you can't read a book or coach Little League or do whatever it is that makes you outside of the office. I confess, this is another one that I have struggled with throughout my career. And I can tell you that developing good work-life balance habits now will pay dividends in the years to come. And with that, I'll congratulate you again on this enormous accomplishment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Judge, for those inspiring remarks. And thank you to all of our speakers, our staff, our attendees, and congratulations to the class of 2022. We're really excited to continue working with you and see all that you'll accomplish with your degrees. We also look forward to seeing many of you at National Convention this week. Congrats. Bye.